today we're going to be talking about equivalent fractions. Now, I had posted a video on YouTube about equivalent fractions, so hopefully you were able to look at that song. But this is just kind of a chart right here of pizza to kind of help you look at what equivalent fractions look like. So basically what you're looking at is a bunch of pizzas that were cut in half. To show you that it doesn't matter how you slice it, the amount of pizza you eat is the same. So if you slice the pizza in only 2 slices and you still eat half the pizza, your fraction is going to be 1/2. If you slice it into 4 slices and you only eat 2 slices, then your fraction is going to be 2/4, which still equals 1/2. Then if you get 6 slices and you eat half of it, your fraction is going to be 3/2. And then you have 4/8, 5/10, and 6/12. So here you can see that all the pizzas are the same exact size. There's just different slices in every single pizza, and half of that pizza is eaten in every single pizza, which equals all to 1/2. So we're going to go through the examples together, so make sure you're following along with me in your book. All right, so now that we've talked about equivalent fractions, let's go over examples together. All right, example 1. Example 1, it says the rectangle on the left has 3 equal parts. We see that 2 parts are shaded, so 2/3 of the figure is shaded. The rectangle on the right has 6 equal parts, and how many parts must be shaded so that the same fraction of the rectangle is shaded? Okay, so we see that we have, and I'm going to just draw it out for you guys, okay? This has 3 parts, and this has 6 parts, okay? That's not exactly equal, but you understand what I'm saying. So we have 2/3, and it's basically asking you, okay, how much do we need to shade on this side in order for it to be the same amount shaded on this side? So that means 2/3, so that means we're gonna have to shade 1, 2, 4 pieces in order for that to be equal. All right, example 2, what equivalent fractions are shown on the right? Okay, we can easily count up that it is going to be 8 pieces and 2 are shaded is equal to 1/4. Okay, so basically all you do is you have to count up the shaded compared to the number of total pieces, right? All right, let's talk about multiplying fractions, okay? So when we multiply fractions, all right, we are going to multiply the numerators. So you would multiply numerators. And you multiply denominators, okay? For example, if we had 1/2 times 2/2, okay? We just multiply straight across, all right? So 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4, okay? So that's how you multiply fractions. All right, let's look at example 3. It says find 4 fractions equal to 1/3 by multiplying 2/2, 3/3, 4/4, and 5/5. The reason why we're multiplying those fractions is because those all equal 1. Okay, there's just more pieces in them that give them another chance to be an equivalent fraction. Okay, so they basically give you 1/3, right? So it has to be equivalent to 1/3. And then you multiply by 2/2. Again, you're multiplying straight across. So 1 times 2 is 1, and 3 times 2 is 6. So that means 1/3 equals 1/6. All right, what about 3/3? 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. So it's also equal to 3/9. All right, what about 4/4? Okay, 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times 3 is 12. So 1/3 is equal to 1/6, 3/9, and 4/12. Okay, you see how to do that? All right, let's go ahead and do lesson practice on page 683. All right, A says name the equivalent fractions. Okay, so we can see just by looking at the image here, by counting up all the pieces, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on one side. Okay, and the ones that are shaded, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means that 6/8 is equal to 3/4. Again, we're just looking at the shape and counting up the shaded pictures, okay? The shaded portions of the whole fraction. All right, lesson practice B, we're going to do the same thing, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the first fraction has 9 total pieces, and the number shaded is 3. So that also is equal to 1/3. All right, lesson practice C. Here's where we're going to be drawing some pictures. All right, C says draw pictures to show that the following pairs of fractions are equivalent. Now you're going to have to draw similar squares, so it might be easy to use a lesson activity if you want, so that you know that each thing is the same. So I'm going to make sure that my squares are congruent, make sure they're roughly the same. I did pretty good. Okay, so the first fraction they give you is 2/4. Okay, so I'm going to label that here, and the next one is 1/2. So 2/4, just going to go straight down the middle. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1/2. Okay, so shaded wise, we need to shade in 2/4, so 2 pieces, and we also need to shade in 1 piece here. All right, lesson practice D. Again, trying to draw the same size rectangle. I'm doing a rectangle because all the different numerators are different. So one side is going to be 4 and 6, and the other side is going to be 2 and 3. So I'm going to do my 2 and 3 first. Okay. And then 4 and 6, I'm just going to go ahead and go this way and do 2, 4, 6. So you see how I have 1, 2, 3 pieces, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I'm going to shade 2 pieces on this side. And I'm going to shade 4 pieces on this side. All right, lesson practice E. We have 2/8 equals 1/4. Okay, I'm going to split this up into 4. I'm also going to split this into 4. And then I'm going to do a line down the middle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I'm going to shade one of these sections, and I'm going to shade 2 boxes over here. All right, lesson practice F. It says to find 4 equivalent fractions for each fraction below. To do this, we need to multiply each fraction by 2/2, 3/3, 4/4, and 5/5. So remember, when we're multiplying fractions by fractions, we multiply the numerator with each other and the denominators with each other. So the fraction they give us is 1/4. We need to multiply this by 2/2. We get 2 times 1 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. The next fraction they want us to do is 3/3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. And they have us do 4/4. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. And last but not least, they give us 5/5. 5 times 1 is 5, and 5 times 4 is 20. So that means that all these fractions are equivalent to 1/4. Give us 5/6. Again, they want us to multiply it by 2/2, 3/3, 4/4, and 5/5. All right, 5 times 2 is 10. 6 times 2 is 12. 5 times 3 is 15. 6 times 3 is 18. 5 times 4 is 20. 6 times 4 is 24. 5 times 5 is 25. And 6 times 5 is 30. All right, and then H. All right, H, they give us 2/5. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 3 is 6, and 5 times 3 is 15. 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 2 is 10, and 5 times 5 is 25. And the last fraction they give us for I is 1/10. 2 times 1 is 2. 10 times 2 is 20. 3 times 1 is 3. And 10 times 3 is 30. 4 times 1 is 4. And 4 times 10 is 40. 5 times 1 is 5. And 5 times 10 is 15. All right, let's go ahead and do some homework problems. Okay, number 2, this one looks tricky. It says, what number is 6 less, okay, 6 less than the sum of 7 and 8? So the sum of 7 plus 8, and what is 6 less? That means that you need to write out an expression. So this is our expression, okay, the sum of 7 and 8, and 6 less of that, okay? So 7 plus 8 is 15. 15 minus 6, okay? And what is 15 minus 6? We get, all right, number 3. It says Nell read 3/10 of 180 pages in one day. How many pages did she read in one day? So we need to divide 180, divide by 10. That's our first step. 10 goes into 18 one time. 18 minus 10, you get 8 and bring down the 0. 10 goes into 80 8 times. 8 times 10 is 80, and we're done here. So this is how much they read, but they have 3/10, so now we have to multiply 18 times 3. That's our second step. 8 times 3, 8, 16, 24. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5, so we get 54 pages. Number 9, it says change the improper fraction 5/2 to a mixed number. Okay, let's do that first. We need to divide 5 divide by 2. 2 goes into 5 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. So this 2 becomes our whole number, and our 1 becomes our numerator, and our 2 becomes our denominator. So now we have our new mixed number, okay? Then it says to draw a picture, okay? So if we draw a picture, I need at least 1, 2 for my whole number, and another square for my fraction, okay? And they all need to be in 2 pieces because that's our denominator. So I'm going to shade in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pieces. Number 10, it says to use the information below to answer parts A and B. So let's read it together. It says Chico did 12 push-ups on the first day. On each of the next 4 days, he did 2 more push-ups than he did the day before. Okay. Altogether, Chico did how many push-ups in 5 days? Okay, so that means the first day he did 12, and on the next 4 days, he did 2 more push-ups than he did the day before. Okay, we need to figure out 5 days. So this is day 1. Okay. And we're just going to make a table because B, it says to make a table anyway. So the table is actually going to help us figure that out. Okay, so day 1, this is going to be our day, and these are going to be our push-ups. Okay, so day 1, he did 12. Day 2, now remember it said on the next 4 days he did 2 more. So that means he just did 2 more than the day before. So he went from 12 to 14. On day 3, he did an extra 2 on top of the 14. So that puts us at 16. And day 4, 16 plus 2 is 18, and it's actually supposed to be 5 days. I'm gonna add another square. And day 5, he goes up to 20. Okay, so then our question A, so this actually is our answer for B. Okay, how many push-ups did he do in total? So that means we're gonna have to add
12 plus 14 plus 16 plus 18 plus 20. So we add all those together. Okay, so I'm going to take it step by step. 12 plus 14, 4, 5, 6. 1 plus 1 is 2. 26 plus 16, 6 plus 6 is 12. 2 plus 2 is 4. 42 plus 18, 8 plus 2 is 10. 4 plus 2 is 6. And then 60 plus 20, and we get 80. So he did 80 total. All right, for number 11, it says to name 2 points on the line. So I'm going to give you one example. Basically, you need to find the points, and I can see that one of them is on 0 for x and goes up to 2. So it wants you to name 2 points. So that means that you need to find another point, because I already gave you one, and make sure that your x-axis is the one going horizontally, and then your y-axis is you're going vertically. So where's your point? How many over are you going? That's your x. And how far up are you going? And that's your y number. Right, number 14, it says since 63 equals 60 plus 3, we may find 5 times 63 by finding 5 times 60 plus 3. Use the distributive property 5 times 60 plus 3. So we need to write it out like this. 5 times 60 plus 5 times 3. Okay, because that's our distributive property. All right, 5 times 6 is 30. And then we add our 0 and we get 300. Plus 5 times 3, which is 5, 10, 15. And our answer is 315. All right, class, that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.